Hey, welcome! It's Ashley from Demystifying Your Health. It's summertime, and if you're like me, you love being outdoors because there's just so many activities you can do. The only issue with being outdoors in the summer is you're exposing your skin to the sun. While this does have some health benefits, the big concern is sunburn. I'm one of those people who's prone to sunburn, so I'm pretty familiar with this. What causes sunburn to occur? How can you treat it? More importantly, how can you prevent it? When we're talking about sunburn, we're talking about skin. An important component of your skin is melanin. It's the pigmentation that gives your skin its normal color. When you expose your skin to ultraviolet or UV light, it increases production of melanin. This is what causes your skin to become darker. The amount of melanin your body produces is genetically determined, and most people's bodies don't produce enough. This is why if you overexpose your skin to UV light, you end up with a sunburn. UV light is a wavelength of light that the human eye can't see. It's divided into two main groups, UVA and UVB. UVA is responsible for photoaging. This is when your skin loses elasticity and strength over time, resulting in wrinkles, freckles, and dark spots on your skin. UVB is associated with sunburn. It's important to note that up to 80% of ultraviolet light can get through clouds. This is why you can end up with a sunburn on a cloudy day. Certain surfaces, such as sand, water, and snow, reflect UV light. And UV light is more intense at higher altitudes. While UV light is primarily sourced from the sun, people who use tanning beds or sun lamps are also exposing their skin to UV light. Certain things can increase your risk of developing a sunburn, such as having pale skin, taking certain medications because it can increase your skin's sensitivity to light, spending time outdoors, and drinking alcohol while spending time outdoors. This is because most often we're not really paying attention to how much exposure our skin is getting to the sun. The symptoms of sunburn can include pink or red skin to the affected area. The area is warm and hot. It will swell, or you can develop blisters. If you have severe sunburn, you'll have all of those, plus a headache, fever, nausea, and fatigue. It's important to note that any part of your body, including your earlobes, your lips, your scalp, can be sunburned. That's why it's important to take preventative measures for all of your skin. Also, when exposing your body to UV light, the damage that occurs actually takes place for up to several hours after you remove yourself from the exposure. This is why you might not know the extent of your sunburn until, in some cases, a few days after you've been exposed. When it comes to treating sunburn, the first sign that you might have an issue is that your skin can be red or tingly while you're still out in the sun. If you experience this, the first step is to get out of the sun, and then start the process to help your skin heal. The first is to take a cool bath or apply a cool, damp towel to the area. This will help soothe it and slow down the damage process. Just remember, don't take a cold one or use ice. This can actually damage your skin further. The next step is to apply aloe or calamine lotion or gel. This will help your skin not only heal, but slow down the whole damaging process. Just remember to not use anything that includes the word cane, like lidocaine, benzocaine, or something along those lines, because this can actually damage your skin further since it's more sensitive. If you're having discomfort, try taking over-the-counter pain relievers, such as ibuprofen, which is Advil or Aleve, or acetaminophen, which is Tylenol. Be sure to drink plenty of water, so that way you don't end up dehydrated. If you have blisters, don't pop them, because they can easily become infected. If the blisters do open on their own, just clean them with mild soap and water, and then apply antibacterial ointment on them to prevent an infection. The next step is to avoid the sun for the next several days, because your skin is going to be sensitive. At first, the damaged skin, and then if your skin starts to peel and underneath is the new skin, that's going to be incredibly sensitive and more likely to be damaged if you expose it again to the sun. If you have severe symptoms, make sure you go to your doctor, especially if your sunburn is not improving after a couple of days. To prevent a sunburn, there are things that you can do. The first is to be aware of when UV light is most intense. That's usually between 10 in the morning and 4 in the afternoon. So if possible, avoid being outside during this time. If you are going to be outside, take breaks in the shade frequently and drink plenty of water so that way you remain hydrated. Next, it's important to wear a wide brim hat, sunglasses, and clothing that covers most of your body. In fact, there is UV protectant or UVP clothing that actually filters out some of the UV light. I actually use some of these products, especially if I'm going to be outside. I wear a long sleeve shirt that has these capabilities, and they work amazing. For anything as far as skin that's exposed, make sure you apply sunscreen. This is vital to protecting your skin. Sunscreen is measured by the sun protectant factor, or SPF. This is with the sunscreen's ability to filter out the UV rays. It's best to think of it in terms of percentages. An SPF of 15 filters out about 93% of UV rays. An SPF of 30 filters out about 97%, and an SPF of 50 filters out about 98%. So this is why it doesn't make sense to buy anything above an SPF of 50, because there's no real benefit, and they're usually much more expensive. The other consideration with sunscreen is it needs to be broad spectrum. This means it's going to protect you against all types of UV light. So most products nowadays have these capabilities. When applying sunscreen, you should put it on before you go out by about 15 minutes and then reapply every 2 hours. Unless you're swimming or going to be sweating, which means you should apply it more frequently. Even if you're using water-resistant sunscreen, you still need to reapply more frequently. If you're going to be using bug repellent and sunscreen, be sure to put the sunscreen on first. For small children and toddlers, it's best to use shade and clothing to protect them because they're more likely to put their hands and body parts inside their mouth, and therefore they could ingest the sunscreen chemicals, which would not be good. There's no question. It's summer, you want to get outside and have some fun. By being prepared, applying sunscreen when necessary, you'll be preventing yourself from dealing with sunburn and long-term skin damage. So have fun and stay healthy.